100 degrees. And it's much more chill now in the evening. And I finished up a bunch of wiring. I can show you. Outlet pot got wired up. That got wired up. Our dimmer switch got wired up. And our positives and negatives, which are going to go to our terminal, all got wired up. Technically, that wiring should happen after we put up panels, but also they're on Wago connectors, so I can easily unplug them and reconnect them. But they needed to be stripped and prepped and all that, so that was good that happened. The floor's done. I mean, not the final floor, but the subfloor is done. And we're making progress. We have our bed. Nathan asked, how long have we been doing the build? I don't know, since this live stream, it's been, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks? I'm not sure how long, actually. These things take time. And we have our Scorva bed frames, and I could show you what that looks like when it is all up and running. And I have some ideas for how I want the ideation of the bed has evolved now that I have seen in person what the bed looks like. I am based in Oregon at the moment, in the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, so I have some ideas with the bed. It was actually helpful to see it in situ. It helped me understand a little more what it might look like and what we could do with it. I have some ideas. But it seems like there's always more insulation to be doing. And kind of insulation waits on other things. So you can't finish insulating until you've done certain electricals and so done this and so done that. So we're at a point now where I feel comfortable and confident with the wiring that's going in, which means we can move on, or we can move back to finishing up some more insulation. So I'm going to grab that batting and we're going to get on with it. It is kind of cool to see how things move, even though I've done a van build already. It wasn't a sensor, but yeah, it's cool how there are ideas in your head and then there are ideas in person once you're actually seeing things and how they fit together in the space. Once you actually see things and how they fit together in the space, it's like a whole different calculus. So here we are. We're gonna need some more batting for this. Yeah, I'm doing something risky, which is that I'm wearing no sleeves and shorts, which is probably not the best way to do insulation, particularly because if it gets on my skin, it'll be super itchy. So let's actually change that. Let's get a little more dressed. We got undressed on the live stream last time because it was too hot. Welcome to the chat, people. Welcome to the hang. Feel free to let us know where you're from. Feel free to say hi. We've had a bunch of regulars who we've been getting to know, and we have new people all the time. So feel free to introduce yourself. We're gonna work on some more insulation tonight. I don't think we'll have time to get to this tonight, but I would like to start framing out our partition wall. Nathan says, I've always dreamed of doing a van build. I'm glad you're doing it. I can live vicariously through your adventures. Totally. You know, it's actually funny because when I did my first, this time that I'm doing the van build, I'm not really around so many people. I'm kind of just out here in the boonies. But when I did the last one, I did it on the East Coast near New York, and everyone that I spoke to was like, oh, it was my dream. I wish to do it. And I tell people, like, it's it's really not that unobtainable, particularly if you want to go kind of like DIY, if you have some time to do it, or you kind of, you know, take a few hours throughout the week on evenings, weekends. It's very feasible. It's very doable, and it's really great. It really gives you a really great thing to travel and adventure in. But I understand sometimes we can only do so many things, and the rest we get to participate vicariously. So I'm glad to be able to be that vicarious van build. Yeah, I should say that I really love the process of building it. I love like thinking up different creative solutions. Like the whole thing is really one big fun creative challenge where you have to like fit a lot of things into a relatively small space. Chodesh Tov. It is Elul. I love you too, Yosef. That's very sweet. Do we know each other in person or just through the interwebs? It is the month of Elul. Ani ledodi v'dodi li. I am to my beloved is to me. Inu liyadi v'samti lach. Ish l're'eyu. Umatanis la'avyonim. Elul, wonderful and terrifying time. The king is in the field, baby. The king is in the field. The king maybe is out doing van life out in the field. Here we go. Making ourselves accessible in Elul. We know each other from Mount Sinai. Oh, I have been there. Yes, I thought you looked familiar. All right, so what are we up to? Little update. We ran. Oh, this chus would be all mine. We have all of our wiring ends that have come out through here from all the places that they need to go to, and we are going to start closing up installation again. And that's it. We're here to hang out. We're here to have fun. We're here to chat about all things van related and life related and Seekers of Unity related and mysticism related. My sleeves. Look at this. I put on long sleeves, and then I roll them up. That is counterproductive. Let us fix that. Am I familiar with Rabbi Tovia Singer? I am. I actually know Rabbi Singer. We used to hang out in Jerusalem together and chat about YouTube. Yes. Ah, these sleeves are harder to get in than I thought. Quick question. Did anyone see the video we published today on the channel, the AMA? I published it. I don't know how many people saw it. I feel like it kind of didn't really get into people's algorithms just yet. Can we hang out in Jerusalem together and chat about YouTube? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not geographically in Jerusalem at the moment, but I would love to be there. And if I was there, I'd love to chat about all kinds of things with you, and maybe even we could chat about YouTube. It's a fun medium. All right. Okay. I should probably put on socks. My feet are gonna get super itchy, but I don't see any socks in the immediate vicinity, so I'm just gonna crack on with it. And let's give you guys a bit of a better view. Working late to avoid the sun, or just gonna work on it until the sun went down? Either way, yes, kind of both. I was waiting for the sun to go down, and I've been doing a lot of work at nights. There are some things like drilling that I can't do at night because I have neighbors, but kind of. I actually did work on it a bunch today during the heat of the sun, which was wild. It was like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, like 36, 37 Celsius. And I actually don't even know how he did that. It was kind of crazy. But anyways, we're back at it now that the sun is down. It is much more pleasant to be out here. It does take a lot of time for the heat to dissipate. The heat of the day really like lingers and hangs thick until sometimes like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Okay. That is that wiring all in place. Can I get a bracha for Chedesh Elul? Of course, my friend. What are you wanting a bracha for? For tshuva, for tshuva ilah, for aharabah. What are we looking to get blessed for? Ooh, you know what I was supposed to do that I just remembered? I'm supposed to put silicone in those little cavities before sealing them back up. Let's grab the silicone gun and do that. That's a good tshuva. Bracha Yosef, you should be able to have complete and full tshuva in every moment of Elul. Back to yourself, back to the Eibishter, Gam Yachad. Okay, I'm just grabbing some silicone. I'm just grabbing some silicone. I'll be back in just a second. Do we have any engineers or chemists? What will work well on electrical wiring, or maybe I should say any electricians? I am very partial to a dual aspect monism. Yes, that speaks to me strongly. This is regular silicone. This is Dynaflex, windows, door, siding, and trim. Sealant with silicone-like toughness. Everything is comparing itself to silicone. This is polyurethane. Relentless performance. I love these adjectives. Incredible. They're like athletes. This one outperforms silicone. You see, they're really in a race with each other. It's amazing. Let's see what is not dried up from these various canisters. Let's see if we get anything out of this one. Oh, I can't read the screen from that far away. Let's see what's going on. No chemist, but a composer. I'm so grateful. Let's see. For your content and heartfelt wisdom, keep inspiring, and thank you for your work. Wishing a solid finish to the van. Yo, that's so cool. Thank you, Benya. A composer. I would love to hear. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I figure that there are real people out there who really get to appreciate what we're putting out into the world. Yeah, I would love to. You making music? That sounds incredible. I'd love to hear more about that. Can I please send you the first draft of my project that we've been working on? It would mean a lot to hear your feedback. Potentially, you might get my feedback easier if you summarize the thesis on the live stream, and then we can crowdsource some of that together. Ooh, that's so cool. Look at this. Okay, well that's very clogged up. My assumption is that these have not been used for a while, so they're pretty but and I just noticed there's a little snipper here, so I can snip the end of the cap off with. Let's try that out. See if we can get some. That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing. No mean to be disrespectful, but do you think the vastness of the universe and the problem of suffering are valid arguments against God? Oh, there's no disrespect in that. We're here to chat theology openly and without preciousness. Do I think that the vastness of the universe and the problem of suffering are valid arguments against God? Here's my general feeling when it comes to these kinds of questions. Let me just get something that I can pierce the dry silicone. Let's see if there's anything wet beneath that. I think that the whole sort of classic realm of arguments for and against God are much more applicable to questions of kind of general classic theology, and most of those arguments are posed in usually in events or arguing for some sort of classic theism, and the arguments against them are the arguments against a classic theism. When I'm thinking of God, I'm thinking much more about God insofar as the mystics conceive God, which is very different from a classical theistic conception, although there are certainly overlaps and complex overlaps and similarities. So if you're asking, are they valid arguments against classic theistic conceptions of God? Perhaps. Are those perceptions the ones that I myself am sort of interested in defending? Not really, because that's not the notion of God that I'm ascribing to so much anymore. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a drill bit, and I'm going to drill out some of this. Let's grab a drill bit. Give me 1 second. Joseph Stern says, can I pay you for Zoom lessons? I generally avoid taking on one-on-one clients, but I appreciate the invitation and the offer. Thank you. Your goof is from New York. Sweet. Mukhtar says hi. Welcome, Mukhtar. Thanks for joining us. Where are you dialing in from? What time of day is it by you? What's the weather like in your part of the world? Oh, look at that. We got some silicone. Is any of it wet? Look at that. We got a whole silicone mess here. Let's see. Do we think there's going to be any wet silicone in here? My guess is no. There's only one way to find out. There's probably a few ways to find out. All right, that's how we make a mess of our drill bit. That's okay. We can run that through some wood later. Let's give that another squeeze. Let's see how it goes. Oh, look at that. There it is. We have some wet silicone behind a little dry plug. Okay, that can go in the bin. That's actually kind of pretty. And then we can try to use that silicone that came out to put into these holes that we drilled so that we don't get abrasion on our wires, and so that the bare metal doesn't rust. Let's try. No guarantees that this will work. Whoa. That's Yep, I'm realizing now that we're not going to be able to reach that hole with this gun. That is too narrow. We're going to have to put the silicone onto something and then wipe it up into that hole and then kind of smush it in. Let's see. We need a silicone applicator of sorts. Let's see what we can find for the job. We did have some scrap plastic here. Oh, maybe one of these. 5:44 a.m. A little cloudy. Oh, very cool. So early. Good on you for being up at such an early hour. To be honest, I think this might work. Just a little dab and then a little scoop. Okay. And then, oopsies. We might want to wipe that off on something. Like this, perhaps. Let's give this a shot. Again, no guarantees that this will work. But let's try. Okay, so I'm gonna dump out some. Whoa. We just got attacked by the silicone gun. I'm gonna dump out some silicone onto the cardboard. Okay, that's a nice amount. And then we're going to prop that up so it doesn't leak all over the place. I'm gonna grab our large screwdriver and we're going to scoop some of that silicone. You know what would also probably be helpful is our little flashlight. There it is. And that way we can see what's going on inside here. Great, and then we can grab some of this and we can pop it up right in there. Okay, that is messy for sure, but the hope is that it will keep things in place and not stop the wires from getting chafed up on the sharp edges of the metal from the hole that we cut. Okay, let's give that another dab. Wow, that is hard to see, let alone reach. Okay, I'm gonna give that one more dab, and then I'm gonna kind of shimmy it back and forth and hope some of the silicone gets inside. This would be a really good time to Google if silicone is safe for electrical wiring, but my intuition is that it is safe. If anyone wants to Google that and confirm. I mean, it's a little late now, but okay, let's give that a shimmy. Do I think that there are ineffable truths? Yeah, I think so much is ineffable. I think that which is effable is maybe just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, now I'd say that was a mediocre success. I don't know. Let's give one more dab on this side, and then let's give some dabs on the other side. Okay, let's try get. Yikes. Yikes indeed. This is some messy material. It smells like vinegar. Okay. Here's to hoping that goes inside. Hey, Michael's back. What is the wire made of? If it's silicone, then there'd be one. It's mostly some kind of plastic. Yeah, that's a good question. I assume it is just some plastic of sorts. Oh, so good to have the Michaels back in the chat. Okay. Now, silicone on side number 2. Okay, one blob above on the right, then one blob, oh, a big blob above on the left. Oh. And then we're gonna do one blob below. Those are the 3 points that I can reach. And then, okay. And then we're just gonna give the little wire a little shake back and forth to try and get that silicone all up in there. Yeah, that's working. That's totally working. All right, I can give that a little twist. Yeah, I'd say that's good. Good enough for government work. Okay, where else did we run wire through sharp things? We did some more sharp things back on this end. And then, unless it says otherwise, it's likely plastic. Good to be back. Good to have you back, brother. Good to have you back. Okay, we're gonna dab one more dab of silicone down on that end. And then we're going to, let's try to get this to not make a big mess. And then we're gonna do one dab up there. And I think that was all the places that we drilled. Okay. We drilled one hole here, right? Oh, we have a Spinoza question in the chat or something. Let's do this and then we'll chat skis about Spinoza. Light. And I can't really see the hole from there. Sorry, I'm gonna have to block the camera for a second. Let me just get up in there. Oh, that's very close. Getting real intimate here. Ah, there's our hole. Very good. Let us grab some of that goop-de-goop. And woo, let's try to not get it on the pants. And let's try to get it just above that wire. Just on that hole. Yeah, nice. Okay, and one more glove for good measure. We're gonna go beneath the wire this time. As above, so below. And as below, so above. That's a good approach angle. There we go. Perfect. Love that. Okay, now we're gonna give the wire a little shimmy-yay, shimmy-you, back and forth. Great. And that should hopefully get all the silicone we need. That side worked way better. Maybe because the hole was larger. But I feel like we got silicone right up into that hole, coating the wire. Great. Perfect. Between Spinoza and Plotinus, or any other near Platonist, which formulation schema do I lean towards? Which formulation schema? I'm not familiar with. I don't fully understand the question. Formulation schema? You're gonna have to explain that to me. Okay, now we have 2 holes to do here. These are going to be tricky holes because they are both small and difficult to access. All right. Let's get our step stool. Let's get our step stool for this activity. Ooh, that tripod goes so high. Incredible. Can we see? We're trying to get up in... No, we can't see. Trying to get up in that hole. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to reach, right? Okay. Let's get this. Let's put this down. I'm trying not to step on it. This looks kind of yummy, doesn't it? Okay. Not too bad. Let's try and get another goop beneath the wires. And shove it in there from just beneath them. We may have to lift the wire. Oh, we've got goop dripping everywhere now. Oh, it's become a goopy mess. Anyways, try and coat them a little from above and a little from below. Okay, I don't know how successful any of that was, but let's try putting a bit more in there. Okay. At one side, now let's goop up the other side, and then let's do a little pull back and forth. All right. All right. Oopsies. Oh, that is very sharp. Oh my gosh. How did I leave such a sharp spot where, oh, wires are? That's good. Let's hit that with the file before we put some goop in there. But we can put this down for a second. Yikes. Okay. Let's try hit that with the silicone now. All right. We're gonna need light. By that I mean the structure, substance, attribute mode, and the Neoplatonic hypotheses. Having had a discussion with John Zevi, you're developing your own metaphysics. Oh wow, I didn't know if I'm doing my metaphysics. Whose structure I like better? Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, here's an important point. I think that we kind of let me say this point in just a second because it's a delicate point. But let me first get some silicone in here. I think that we misunderstand the philosophers, or these philosophers in specific, when we take their world building too seriously and literally. I think for the Neoplatonists, it's very clear that they do not mean any of this in like a spatio-temporal sense, and they're quite keen on repeating and reminding us that all the time, even as we, and perhaps even they can forget that. But there's a sense where all of this talk of emanations and hypostases and chains of being and are all really metaphors for what is going on, or a different way of conceptualizing reality. And I worry so much when we kind of compare them one-to-one, head-to-head, that we may think that there's actually some kind of hypostatic gradation in reality in some sort of spatio-temporal sense, and I think that they would object to that kind of understanding of their systems. So if you're asking which sort of which metaphysical schema of metaphor do I prefer in our attempt to describe ultimate reality, that's maybe a different question. But if you're asking what was the language, which one do I lean towards? Well, I guess your question was kind of being a little narrow in my reading of it. I just don't think that they're describing reality as such. They're describing metaphors by which we can comprehend and approach reality in a lived way. And I think we sometimes take them to be doing something like cosmology, or I think that's a bit of a category error. Oh my gosh. Okay, now that we have made a thorough mess in there, we're going to wiggle the wires back and forth and hope that the silicone gets to all the places that it needs to be. Okay. Do you agree, Mokhtar, with what I'm saying? Okay, I really hope this helped, because there was some genuinely jagged parts there sticking out that I should not like the cables to be running over when the van is moving around. Okay. That's one way to do it, I guess. Okay, so we hit the 2 holes on that side, we hit that one, and we hit the 2 holes on this side. Okay, I think that's all for our silicone adventures, and we can put away our silicone before it makes a mess. So let me grab that tube and put it away, and we will be back in the show. All right. Oh, and this is a mess now. I guess we'll wait for that to dry off and then we'll just scrape it right off. Should work. Fingers crossed. We had a water bottle. Okay. I can't tell if my hands are covered in silicone because these gloves are black. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nהיה b'dorei. Oh, that's a strong whiff of silicone. Kind of smells alright, like chips and vinegar, or maybe just vinegar. Yeah, Michael says that he resonates with the serious but not literal. I think that they were trying to be serious but not literal, and I think that we're so used to turning things into discrete objects that we do that for the metaphysics as well, and I think that we get this mistake with the Bible too, where people are so obsessed with reading the Bible objectively, historically, literally, that it like when the mystics are really not interested in reading any of their texts that way. Okay. Now, where did that came from there? So let's put that. Let's stop putting our chunks of foam. Not foam, actually. Chunks of rock wool. Mokhtar says, I do not mean anything cosmological, at least not in the way physicists conceptualize it. Ultimate reality in its unity seems to be beyond the category of space and time. Right. No, certainly that seems to be the case that they all agree upon. Let's get to that one in a second when the silicone dries, but let's start actually back here then, and let's see what we have in our stock. Okay, we're back to the old game of measuring, cutting, and inserting. So let's grab a tape measure. And my suspicion is that those pieces are going to be too short for that cavity. Right, a guide to interpret the ineffable. That's a nice way of putting it. Oh, where's my scissors? Okay, for this piece, it's crazy. It's actually still so warm out. It's 10:30 p.m. Oh my gosh. Okay, for this piece, we want a piece that's 20 and 20 plus. So that's gonna be too short, which means we're gonna have to chop open a new bag of insulation. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. I was kind of hoping, so the insulation comes in 2 different sizes, depending on the columns that it's meant to go in between. And I was kind of, I think that I may want a wider insulation mat for the ceiling, which is going to be its own kind of fun. But for now, let's use what we have, and let's crack on with the show. I'm really excited for the bed idea that I have. I think I came up with a really, well, I didn't entirely come up with it. I pieced together things that I saw other people doing online, but I think I have a nifty solution. Okay. David Menagid says, "Hi Zevi, I really enjoyed your AMA videos. Love your Jewish perspective and the way you articulate your thoughts. Did you grow up learning these perspectives, or did you explore them yourself?" Thank you. I'm so glad you are enjoying those videos. We put out just a new one just this very day. And that's a great question. Did I grow up with those perceptions, or did I explore them on my own? I want to say both, and a mix of the two, and it's sometimes hard to put a finger on how much exactly is one and how much of the other. I was fortunate to receive a very rich and beautiful and deep and immersive Jewish education as a youngin. And I was also blessed with a healthy amount of curiosity and encouragement to continue to explore questions on my own. So that, we got a new pack of rock wool opened up right there. Big block of cheese. But yeah, I appreciate that. So I'd have to say something like both, and it's hard for me to know sometimes where one ends and the other begins. I like the Vedantic way of perceiving formulation as pedagogical, or the Buddhist skillful means. Totally, it is pedagogy. These are ways for us to teach and learn and engage and grow. I agree with that, Mokhtar. That's a beautiful articulation of a beautiful conception of. Okay, we're actually be sitting lower. All right. We are on the floor, on the live stream. Okay. This should really be deeper in. Okay, let's say 12 and a half by 20 and a half. 12 and a half by 20 and a half. 12 and a half by 20 and a half. This is 15 across, right? So let's go this way, 20 and a half. By 12 and a half. Oh, thank you for writing that. That's so helpful, Michael. I'm always forgetting. It has cooled down. Oh my God. Thank God. Thank God it's cooled down, yeah. It's cooled down a bunch. 20, 12 and a half. And 12 and a half right there. Okay, great. Now we can chop that up. What happened to our chopping board? That was handy to have a chopping board. Let me go grab. I think there's one right around the corner here. Woo! I almost went flying there. Perfect. That will work as a chopping board. I think it may have been the one we were using already. Great. And now we can chop. I feel like my body is becoming slightly more immune to the itchy stuff because I'm noticing that I am kind of stepping on it and touching it, and I'm feeling it less and less, so that's nice. All right. Look at that beautiful, that great big beautiful cut. Isn't that nice? Okay. And try to keep those lungs safe. Yeah, I've been less careful with the lung safety, but when I'm spraying things, particularly when I'm using a spray adhesive, then I'm getting something for lung safety, but with this I've been less cautious, the good or the bad. Oh, well, that's a good fit. It's a great fit. Totally. And then I'm gonna put spray foam. Huh. Maybe. All right. Let's measure the next one. Would it be too much to call these live streams seekers of vanity? Well, you wouldn't be the first. Philip Home from Let's Talk Religion already jumped on the stream and called it seekers of vanity. Yeah, vanity is an important concept for the mystics. Hevel havolim hakol hevel, to quote the book of Ecclesiastes. But right now, everything we're doing is functional. There's nothing vain happening yet. Once we get into design, then we'll get a little vain. Okay, 20 and a half by 15. 20 and a half by, let's call it 15 and a quarter. 20 and a half by 15 and a quarter. This is his only secret. 20 and a half by 15 and a quarter. I haven't heard anyone make the obvious joke, which is only Vans. But 20 and a half. 20 and a half by 15 and a quarter. Thank you, Michael. That was really helpful. I was about to go back and remeasure. You know what? I'm actually gonna go for 15 because that's already 15. And then we'll do 20 and a half. And we can measure from that end as well. Same thing. 20 and a half. And can we see here? Can we see what we're cutting? And 20 and a half. Okay. Okay. You know what I noticed? I noticed that, like, while we're actually streaming, you know, we'll have like maybe 30, 35 people concurrently on like a busy stream. But then post-stream, I'm seeing a lot of viewers. One of the streams had like 1,000, 2,000. I think one had 5,000 last time I checked. People are really logging on post-stream to watch at least some of what we're doing here. So that was fun and unexpected. I mean, the like cinematographic quality of these is pretty low. I think the value is in the hanging out. But I guess some people like the post hangout just as much. Okay. Nice. That's a great fit. It's a good fit. Beautiful. Beautiful. That will keep us nice and warm during the winter and nice and cool during the summer, hopefully. All right, let's. That was from Michael. Let's move right along with our. The authenticity is the content. Yeah, there is something authentic. It's not polished. It's not. You're seeing mistakes and all. Yeah, I guess there is something appealing about that. In a highly polished social media world, it's fun to see something raw. Okay. Something real. Something real. Okay, great. That's a fit. Now let's measure. And that's gonna be 11, I wanna say. Yeah, let's go 11. And also presumably 20 and a half. Yeah. Okay, 11 by 20 and a half. Let's set up the cut shot. 11 by 20 and a half. This will go into scraps, which we will end up using for something else inevitably. Thank you, Michael. Okay. first yawn of the night. Oh no. It's only 10:30. Yikes. We still got a lot of work in us. Okay. Oopsies. 11. By 20 and a half. Just FYI, people of the stream, we will most likely not be streaming tomorrow because Zevi has some to take care of. That wasn't the cut I was trying to do, but that works as well. 11 by 20 and a half. Sweet. Oh, not the straightest of cuts, I'll say, but it should do the job. Oh, thank you, friend. I'll miss you too. Yeah, I'll be back. There's a chance that tomorrow night I'll be available again, but tomorrow day I won't be available. But the build will go on. That much I can tell you. Or by crook. I don't know where that expression comes from. Now that I'm thinking about it. Whoa, that was a very lopsided cut. Oh well. Quasi straight, that's right. That's the van's orientation, is quasi straight. Should we see how we did on our fitment? Okay. Let's go in like that, and let's push out like that, and let's shove in like that corner and that corner. Okay, let's shimmy it around. All right. Not too bad. All right, not bad at all. Cool. This may be slightly big, but fits in just all right. Let's clear some space and flip around, because now we're gonna do these 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that, we're just getting to the parts of the van that we've been procrastinating on, like these little insulation pockets. I am curious, by the way, now that I'm thinking of this, there are obviously 1,000,001 van builds on YouTube. And there's even van build series where people go through and do the whole thing and explain it and yada yada yada. What is this cut from? Do we know if anyone has live streamed an entire van build from beginning to end? I'm sure someone must have, right? It can't be. Yeah. Where did this cut come from is the question, because that's not the cavity. That's that cavity. But that's such a different shape. What? Look at this. This is the shape that we have here. That was next to this pullout. But that is such a different shape right here. That is basically what? Where did that come from? Okay, that's so strange, because I must have taken this out of somewhere. Does This is a crazy question. Does anyone recognize this shape that we cut from a few streams ago? Where did it come from? Because it's not from here. It's gonna be a triangular spot, but those are all, we didn't empty out any triangles for insulation. It's gonna be a spot that we, oh, unless, you know what it probably is? It's probably just an offcut that had nothing to do with this hull. A quick pan? Yeah, sure. Like that? Is that the pan we wanted? Is that the pan we were hoping for? Okay, I think I understand what's happening. I think that piece has nothing to do with the cavity that it's next to. That's what I've concluded from a thorough investigation, which means that piece is still large, and that's not it. Which means that piece is somewhere out here in the great big world. And presumably, oh, there it is. I found it. Around one of the wheel wells? No, my growing my growing suspicion, which is nearing on conviction, is that it was actually not cut out at all for one of the hulls here. It was an offcut from another piece that was cut out for one of the hulls. And my confirmation of that is twofold. Firstly, because I just found the piece. Oopsies, you didn't see that. I just found the piece that was supposed to go here. And number two is because there are two different brands and kind of assortments of this material that we're using. There are two different colors and two different textures, and you can probably tell them apart pretty easily. I don't know. And the old, here, this is number one, which is much softer and fluffier and kind of a lighter brown, and this is hotter and firmer and a more yellow. And this one, which we got from a different home store, is the first one we got, and that went into the cavities. It's the harder one, which is going into the middles. So that piece was, in fact, not at all from where we thought it was. Okay. Now what we gotta do is we gotta cut a strange shape to fit here. The pan was nice, good. Yeah. Feel free to ask me to move the camera around. It would be cool if you guys had like those little remote controls, like for the space rover, so that you could just move the camera around at your own will. That would make my life easier too. That would be cool. That would actually give you guys some agency over what you're looking at. Have a little camera on wheels you can move around and inspect things while Zevi works on some other project or cleans his ear. Cardboard to trace. We could. We've done okay with triangular pieces in the past. We've done okay. It's also because it's I'm swallowing now. Because it's just rock wool, we can kind of push it into place. So let's try. Let's measure, people. Okay, top to bottom is 20 inches. Exactly. Then oh, gross. Our widest point on top is, let's say, 1 foot, or aka 12 inches. So I'm writing this down. 20 by 12, and then we basically just taper down to 4 inches. All right, let's get on it. 20, 12, down to 4. Chopping stations. There we go. Hey, thank you, Michael. Legend. Legend. There's lots of offcuts here. We should be using them for things later. Okay. I'm sure we'll have use. Oh, it's so handy actually to have those numbers right there. Okay, this chunk we're going to cut off. We'll use that for something later. What I actually want to do is I want to flip around and cut on that end. Because that way I can actually see the shape that I'm cutting for, and I can, we're actually going to be now on this side of the van predominantly, so no reason to go back and forth. Cutting station has officially switched sides. You know what? While I'm standing, this piece up here can go back in its place. Ooh, look at that. We have degrees in the chat. 60 degrees. Okay. Well, that piece got mangled, to say the least. And this piece is gonna go right back in there. Well, with the light here, I can see all the fibers flying around. Maybe I don't want to be breathing this in, but oh well. Whew. That feels like it's more than 3 inches. It feels like 6 inches up there. All right, let's focus. Back to the task at hand. Now that that one got put back in its place, which was good. Wow, we're really making, I feel, you know, I keep going back and forth between like, oh my gosh, what, nothing is moving here, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, we're making progress, things are moving. Kind of go back and forth every few hours. The trick is to kind of ABC, always be cleaning. Be cleaning up while Michael says ARCSIN.4. Ooh, I feel like that's some coding language. I don't speak code. But someone who does speak code is here with us, and that is Laurel, who tells us that it is late. You know what it's not late for? It's not late for invigorating, creative, hands-on endeavors like building a cozy party bus on wheels. I was gonna say home on wheels, but then I remembered it's a party bus. But I mean, the truth is we've been working during the night to avoid the heat of the day, so I did some working till 4 a.m., 5 a.m., so this is nothing. This is not even midnight yet. Trigonometry, my friend. If you think I know trigonometry, you have another thing coming for you. Okay, measurements. I should not have clapped my hands. That was a bad idea. Ready? Let's get another cut underway. I'm always trying to figure out what's a good angle for the chat, for the fan. Okay. Height is 20. So let's mark out our height. 20 inches. And then we have a straight edge, which tapers down to 4 inches. So let's mark that over there. And that's 4 inches. Okay. So that's where we're coming to eventually. And then on the top, we're going to start off by 12 is our widest at top. And that is 1 foot. Did you guys know that? There's 12 inches in a foot? I know that might be uninteresting information to you, but as a non-American, that's news to me. It is kind of mind-blowing that you guys still use, and I hate to throw you under the bus while, living in your country and all, but call me an active sedition, but the fact that you'll still use, never mind Fahrenheit, but inches and feet and other crazy measurements, it's really wild that you guys have not come across to the metric system yet. Like pounds and quarts and gallons, and do you know how the metric system works? It's all decimals. It's the decimal system. It's a very good system. 1 through 0 and 10. It's like you have 10 millimeters make a centimeter. 10, and you can go down. There's also smaller than millimeters. It's also 10 to the next one. 10 centimeters, rather 100 centimeters make a meter. 1,000 meters makes a kilometer, etc., etc. It's very elegant compared to how many inches? 12 inches in a foot. And then how many feet in the yard? Is it 4 feet in the yard? It's very medieval is all I'm saying. I don't have anything against the medievals, but it's not how I want to do my calculations is all I'm saying. I hate to bite the hand that feeds me, proverbially. And I probably have some angry people in the chat right now. I'm not even looking. But then I'm the one with the knife, so I can say whatever I want. All right, I am eyeballing this cut, and I'm kind of liking what I'm bowling here. Wow, are you not American today? When I'm measuring things, I'm usually using tape measures that are just SAE American, but I have one tape measure that's dual, and every time I use that, I'm like, why? The engineers feel the pain. Metric does truly make sense. 3 feet. Stop it. Are you actually serious right now? It's 5,280 feet in a mile? No. No, you're joking. Looks dangerous with the wire on the left. Look up. What wire on the left? This wire here? I mean, this doesn't have to be right there, but it's not a live wire. It's just plugged in, ready to go. Stop it. Can someone confirm that this is? I can't Google right now because I'm in the middle of the chat. 5,280 feet in a mile. Stop it. Stop it. No freaking way. That's not even. You guys are pulling. You know that I can't Google right now, and you are pulling my leg. 5,280 feet in a mile? What the actual hell? Oh my god. I don't even know if I can trust the chat anymore. I don't know if I can trust the Michaels when they say crazy things like that. Are you serious right now? Okay, guys. Let's try. First fit, first shot. Let's go. No, silent speaker says true. 5,280. Oh my. Okay. Oh my. I swear I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to Google this when I'm done, and you guys are all pulling my leg, and you guys are all in on this together. You guys are all conspiring to have a good laugh at the Australian. That is freaking wild. Okay, let's. I want you guys to see if this shot lines up. But the camera. Okay, there we go. I want to go in right side first. Fill in on the bottom. Then we want to get that corner up in there. And push. And push. And push. I present to you a wonderful fit. Oh, wow. I could not have done better myself. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll take a bow, and I'll be here all day, literally. 5,280 feet in a mile. That's the craziest thing I've learned all day. Welcome, Brittany. What do we do? Laurel, explain to the newcomers what it is that we're doing here. Because we're having a good old time doing it. Wait. Brittany, don't, before anyone says anything, how many feet in a mile? I need to know. No one's allowed to say anything. Okay, that was a great fit. Let's get on to our next fit. Our next spot. We are insulating right now, is what we're doing, to be more specific. Oh, we got people in the chat. I'm waiting for confirmation on this insanity. Okay, let's make some space. We're gonna do a little public trivia here. Does anybody know what this tool is? I got it at Home Depot. They give them out for free. I won't tell you which department in Home Depot they give them out in. But I Googled it because I really thought it was really nifty. It has a bottle opener on one side and something else opener on the other side. But I found it to be handy for all kinds of things. Ah, Laurel knows it's for a paint can opener, that's right. And I found it online that these colloquially are called, no, not paint can opener, although technically that's what it does. There's another name for these online. I'm not going to tell you, see if you can figure it out. And what I found is that the geometry of it is really nice because that lip there, I needed to pick up a piece of plywood and I was able to get in there and then lift from above and lift the plywood right up. Just on that there. It was very nice. There's a street name for these. I thought they were really nifty. Let me know if you know the street name. And I still have not heard from Brittany how many feet there are in a mile. I might have scared Brittany off. But I still, for the record, I still do not believe all of you. An inch is defined as 25.40025 millimeter. Oh, so the inch is defined on the millimeter. That's so wild. That's blowing my Commonwealth mind. Okay. Laurel says we're not lying. The British were wild. Yeah, let's blame the British. The British moved on, people. The British moved on to the metric system. Time to move on to. That's so crazy. 5,280. That's so that number is blowing my mind. Okay, just because it's such a random number. Okay. I have a friend who's just, I can see my notifications, who's WhatsApping me, who's saying, Zevi, where you at? What you up to? So I'm gonna send him a link to this, and then if he comes on, we can all say, I sent him the link. Let's see if he takes the bait. Oh. Let's see if he joins on. Oh. He said he's watching already. Hey, Benjamin. We were trying to love bomb you. Where am I? I'm in the beautiful state of Oregon, in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Benjamin's been here the whole frickin' time. Oh my gosh. So much for my prank. I never was a good prankster. But that's on you for lurking here. Just these lurkers just hanging out in the chat, not saying anything, just peeping on Zevi doing his work. How you doing, brother? It's good to hear from you. Are you in the Pacific Northwest right now? Is that what you just said? I really should glue that back. Oh, I know. I don't want to, but I should. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's grab the silicone and let's do what we're supposed to do. I think, should we use silicone or construction adhesive? What do the Michaels say? Silicone? Do we know what we're talking about? Over here, this adhesive is Common Pot. Maybe construction adhesive is the way to go. Benjamin says, in California for a bit. Oh, sweet. Can we pretend like Benjamin wasn't in the chat the whole time, and can we still do the prank on him where everyone loves on Benjamin for a minute? It's supposed to be a string of loading to hold the rock wall. No, not the rock wall. It's the metal. It's the metal frame of the van and the interior. They from the factory, they're supposed to be combined, but they've become separated over time. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go with Loctite. Oh look, Benjamin, people are saying hi to you. They're so sweet. Silicone or PL. Benjamin, I feel like you're good at these kinds of things. I feel like you've done some builds in your day. Am I right? Am I right about that? Permanent heat resistant elastic rubber seal. I'm gonna go with PL adhesive. Let's go. The go-to, yeah. Totally. All right. I do prefer the smell of silicone though. It reminds me of the British and their vinegar and chips. How many miles in a chip? How many feet? Shouldn't hurt. All right, here we go. By the way, do you want to be let in? This is exclusive right now because there's such a tight group of friends here. You want to be let in on a little secret? Do you know how I choose what to make the thumbnail for these live streams? Basically, when I'm starting the stream and I'm putting in for my phone, I'm putting in the title, and there's an option to add a thumbnail. I literally just grab the first thing that's closest to me. No, when I started, it used to be something that was like relevant to what we were going to be doing. So if we were insulating, I'd grab some insulation. If we were wiring, I'd grab a stripper, a wire stripper. But now I literally just grab whatever's kind of close. Benjamin's in LA. Oh, I was down near LA not too long ago. Let's see if we can get in there. But we're not in LA here anymore. We're many hours north. And I don't hate it. Oh, come on. That's a tight spot. Can we even see what Zevi's struggling with? Can we even see? It's right there. I'm worried that I'm blocking the camera when I lean in, but I also kind of want to see what I'm doing. You know? It's a bit of a trade-off. There we go. We are engaged, and we are extruding. And bloop, 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 bloop. That's the sound it makes. I'm just making live sound effects. And now we can try and... Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay. That should seal up nicely there. Why not? Keep pressure on it. Okay, the truth is that I'm glad you said that, because I haven't really used PL adhesive. I didn't use it in my last build at all. I haven't used it much. So, I don't really, I'm open to be guided on how best practices, if we may. I'm gonna use a bit of plastic to kind of just clean that up a little. That's an awkward place to put pressure, I'll tell you that. And now I can't see the chat when I'm doing that, so let's swing the chat around. How long should I, you know what, how long should I hold this for, Michael? What do we think? How long does it take to dry? Don't tell me like an hour. This is an uncomfortable position to hold. Until it's tacky. It's feeling pretty wet to me. Get a clamp. What? It's a great suggestion, but what exactly am I going to clamp it to? It's a wall. I do have clamps. Look, I got a bunch of clamps. I got clamps right here. But because clamps are your best friend when you're building alone. Well, I'm not building alone, but you know what I mean, physically. So, but what would I? There's nothing to clamp it to here unless I just clamp it to itself. But I kind of want to push. Oh, this is uncomfortable. If I remove pressure and it doesn't move much, it'll be fine. No, it's definitely moving a lot still. It's definitely far from drying, I'll tell you that. There we go. We're gonna switch arms. Okay. Benjamin, I didn't see an answer to my question. Have you built a van before of sorts? Why am I welding it, asked Laurel? Because these two pods are supposed to be stuck together to each other. This frame and the inside of the van wall, but over time they have separated. Before I had the van, they were separated. When I took the walls apart, it was separated. So I'm doing the right thing and I'm sticking them back together because that's how the factory intended them to be. I think that's the right thing that I'm doing. Unless there was like some planned obsolescence and they're supposed to separate and that was for some greater good. But my assumption is that they're supposed to be connected. And they're disconnected, so I'm reconnecting them. But that is taking way too long to... That is still so wet. I feel like I'm gonna wait a minute and then push it into place. Does the instructions, does this say anything on it? Turns out it says a lot. It's like a whole Megillah here, as we say. Okay, make sure surface is clean and free of foreign materials. That's a bit xenophobic. Shelf life, application. Where's the directions? Lots of writing, not a whole lot of directions. I'll tell you that. Cure time 24 hours? You want me to hold this for 24 hours? Okay, it tells me that it works on wood, OSB, drywall, brick, concrete, masonry, stone, marble, granite, metal, vinyl, PVC, foam board. Really kind of works on everything. Not polystyrene, polyethanol, polypropylene, but everything else is fun. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say that's good enough. I'm gonna give it one squeeze. Leave it with some extra. Good night, Laurel. Thanks for joining. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for now. That will dry as it does, and hopefully it will bond just where it needs to be. Okay. Now, let's get back to doing what we were doing, which was measuring and cutting, right? We have 3 more to do. Let us not get distracted by side quests. Okay, this one is... By the way, I will tell people what the street name for this is. It's called a church key, is what Google... Church key. Who are the world's most powerful families? Me. I am the world's most powerful families. All right, let's measure. 9 inches by 13. 9 by 13. Let's cut. Now the truth is, there's a spot there which is over 13. So let's see. Oh, thank you, Michael. You are on the ball. Can I get... Oh, that's also about 13. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Where's a knife? Where did I put the knife? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I heard it. Ta-da! This piece is not going to be helpful right now, maybe later. Oh, we're going to use our chopping board, and we're going to get a new slice going. us a nice angle. 9 by 13. So let's go 9. Oh, measure twice. Cut once. 9. By 13. Oopsie. 9 by 13. And then I want to extend out a little on that end of it. So we're gonna do a little odd shape. You ready for this? Can we see what we're doing? I'm gonna actually cut that block out. And I'm gonna cut our 9 over here. Now this extended piece will actually be 15 inches. Okay. And now we're gonna switch our camera. Let's see what we're doing to fill. This takes a toll on the back. I'm no spring chicken anymore. It's not a good view. Oh, that is still wet. I would have been holding that all day. That is no fast dry. Do you see what the cutout's for? Cutout is for that section, which is got some cavity in it. But this is a tricky fit because we want to go this side first. And then we want to go that side second. And then we can finally go that side third. And then we can pop that right in. Yeah. Sweet. Sweet. I'd say that worked well. All right, let's measure our next spot. Oh, we have some spider webs here. That's impressive. That's the next spot. Here's our tape measure. There's our tape measure. I actually believe that this might be an inversion of the other side. That is 11, and that is 20 and a half. 20 and a half by let's say 11 and a quarter. 20 and a half by 11 and a quarter. Down to, again, 4 inches. 4. Michael, did we get that? 20 and a half by 11 and a quarter, and then 4. Last one for the night, and then signing off. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. $11.24. Ooh. Thank you, Michael. You've been a real one, keeping us on track, keeping us on the money. 20.5. Yep, that's 20.5. And that's... Good night, Michael. Thanks for joining. It's been great having you. That's 11.25. Oh, this is our piece. That's, oh, because it's just an inversion. That's amazing. Look at that. We cut out previously, we cut out this shape, and the remainder is the exact inversion which fits that other side perfectly. That's some lucky, that's a lucky stroke right there. Let's just measure that cut so we do it right. That's 6.5. 6.5. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't look right. Six and a half and 6.5. Yep. If this is the same shape for all the corner diagonal triangular pieces to come, I might want to use it as a template to cut the other two before we pop it in. That would be forward thinking. That's what the Mishnah says. Ezehu chacham haroeh et hanolad, who is wise? Someone who sees into the future what is yet to come. Someone who plans the future. So let's see if that's a good fit. And if it is, we won't put it in just yet, but we will save it as a template for the other sides. And I think that's a great fit. And let's just check that it's actually an appropriate fit for the other sides. And if it is, we will cut up those right now and we will expedite our work. That's not exactly the same fit. That's a little too wide for that shot. And what about here? That's a good fit for there. Okay, so let's make one more of these. And then we will have one more for the other side. Great. Easy. Easy, easy. There we are. Lining up our template. And we can cut that out. And we have two matching pieces. All right. It's a shame that that didn't fit for this cavity here, because we could have just... Oh, I know what will fit for that cavity there. The inverse of this. This side will fit for that cavity the same way that the inverse of that side fit for that cavity. That's a hypothesis that we're about to test and find out. And to do that, we're gonna have to cut that piece out. And if that's the case, I'm gonna be a happy man, because it is gonna put me all the way closer to bedtime. Okay, let us measure. We're gonna need here 20.5, is that right? that's more like 21 actually. Where's my other tape measure? This one's a little not so clear to read, to be honest. I should get like a bum mat to sit on while I jump around, because it would be more comfy. What's going on here? Sorry about that. Okay. That is 21. 21 by 12 and a half. 12. Can I ask a question? Who's still here in the chat? I'm so curious who's still here at this hour. Because I see there's a bunch of people. 21. And 17. That could be interesting. Hey, Manuel Alberto Gonzalez. That's who's in the chat. Just some quiet people. That's all right. We're allowed to hang out. Okay. Spring roll. Still here, just not in the chat. It's 8 a.m. in South Africa. Well, glad to have you here, Spring roll. People are totally allowed to just lurk in the chat. There's no rules against that. Sometimes I get curious because it feels like the chat's empty. It feels like the room's empty. And then I look up and I see, oh, there's still a whole bunch of people with us. All right. All right. That's that piece. And then those two pieces should go there, but before we jump across the other side, let's finish up on this side. Begin by reinserting this piece, which must have gone something like this up in there. What's happening in the middle of the night? We are escaping the heat and we are building a van. That's what's happening. Now we can measure. That is 8 inches. 8 inches by 8 by 21. 8 by 21. 8 by 21. Onto the chopping station. 8 by 21. That is not big enough. Cape Town, best city in the world. That piece is not big enough either. We're gonna need a new piece. Well, people are saying good morning, Corey. It is almost midnight here. Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, no, that's wrong. I realized something that was wrong. That's what I realized. So I unrealized it. 2:35 in the morning in New York. Yikes. Very 21. That is a narrow slice. All right. Let's see how we did. Guys, I'm kind of feeling my energy beginning to wane. So we might finish these last ones and call it a night. Hey, Unicorn Utopia Clear. Just want to say love your videos. I want to say thank you for all your hard work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you to take the effort to say thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Okay. Let us see if this piece is the same as that piece. And if that's the case, we will just rinse and repeat that cut. That is 7. No. That's not the same size. Okay. Never mind. I will do it again. That is gewaldig, as we say. That is great. A bit of a tight fit, I'm not gonna lie. I may have overestimated, but a fit nonetheless. Sheesh. Okay. Let's measure these two, cut it out, and call it a night. Oopsies. Things are falling. I actually want to plug up a little cavity here before we get on with the show. Just a little loose spot. Just here. Let's see what we got. This is our box of bits. That could work. As could that. Lots of scraps in here. Ooh. Look at that, we have some more blocks there. Totally forgot. That was a little messy, I'm not gonna lie. But I think we got the job done. Okay. We have all these bits and bobs around here. Ugh. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's measure and cut. Tape measure, where are you? $13 by $10. Whew. $13. When did the live start? 131 minutes ago. 13 by 10. All right. Whew. Great. That's good. And back there we have one more. Looks like a big workout. Why are you building a van?